record-breaking week. Say that out loud. 1,084 homes closed in San Antonio in a single week. That is the highest weekly sold count of 2026, and we're only in May. If you've been waiting and sitting on the fence wondering whether this market is real, whether buyers are actually out there, whether sellers are actually selling, I've got your answer. Let's dig into the May 7th Greater San Antonio Market Report. I'm Art Meister with Coldwell Banker, Deanna Harper Realtors, and whether you're buying, selling, or just keeping score, you're in the right place. If these weekly numbers matter to you, hit that like button below. It helps more San Antonio buyers and sellers find this content. So let's get into it. Let me give you the headline stats for the week ending May 7th, 2026. 1,084 weekly solds. That's not a typo. That's the highest single week sold count we've tracked in 2026. And it's by a wide margin. The Iran war, rate shock suppressed closings for about 3 weeks. These contracts are now clearing. Spring is catching up with itself, and 910 pending contracts say just that. That's the 12th consecutive week above 800. Every week since late January. Let me put that in perspective. We started the year at 467 pendings. We're now running nearly double that week after week. 30-day solds were 3,359 homes, a new 2026 record. The pipeline is full and it's closing. 30-day pendings, 3,014, down slightly from last week's 3,112, but still second highest of the year. Buyers are in the market. All active listings were 7,379. Supply is still elevated, up about 37% since February. More on that in a moment. Compare that to where we were in January, 467 pendings, sub 600 weekly solds. We've turned a big corner. Activity is not just up, it's accelerating. Now here's the part of this report I want every seller watching to hear me clearly. Price changes hit 3,014 this week, and expired listings jumped from 103 last week to 335 this week. 335 homes that didn't sell. Not because buyers aren't out there. We just showed you 1,084 closings, but because those homes were priced above what the market would pay. Here's the trend over the past 4 months. January closed to list ratio at 91.4%, February 91.9%, March 92.8%. That improving trend tells you that well-priced homes are selling close to the asking price every single month. But the 3,014 price changes and 335 expireds tell you that simultaneously, sellers who chase 2021 prices are getting punished. Those two things live side by side in this market. The answer? Know which group you want to be in. If you're thinking about listing and you want to know exactly what your home is worth right now in this market, call me, text me, 210-286-9106. I pull real comps, not wishful thinking. Let's talk about rates, because this is where things got interesting this week. After 3 straight weeks of declining rates, dropping from the Iran war peak of 6.46 down to 6.23, rates reversed. The April 30th Freddie Mac survey showed rates ticking back up to 6.3 as peace talks stalled and oil climbed again. The daily index is now hovering around 6.48 to 6.51, essentially erasing much of what the ceasefire had given us. Here's the full rate timeline since the war began on February 28. Rates were 5.98, sub 6% for the first time since 2022. April 2nd, 6.46, war-driven peak after 5 straight weeks of increases. April 23rd, 6.23%, third straight decline post-ceasefire. April 30th, 6.3%. Reversal as talks stalled again and oil climbs May 7th, 6.5%. Daily index rising as ceasefire phrase, but here's the context that matters. 6.3% is still dramatically better than the 6.76 a year ago. Purchase applications rose more than 20% year over year when rates briefly dipped, according to Freddie Mac. That demand is real. The question is durability. Kevin Warsh has now been confirmed as Fed chair and takes over from Jerome Powell on May 15th. Near-term impact for you, minimal. The FOMC held rates at its April 29-30 meeting, and analysts expect 1 or 2 modest cuts in late 2026, but only if inflation eases. With March CPI at 3.3%, that's not a given. Bright MLS chief economist Lisa Sturtevant said it well this past week. Mortgage rates are probably going to remain volatile as long as there's significant uncertainty about a long-term resolution with Iran. Here's my take. Don't wait for 5.98% to come back. That brief window opened and closed. The buyers who acted during that window are now under contract. 6.3 to 6.5% is where we are. And the San Antonio market at 316,850 median home sales price is still one of the most affordable major metros in Texas. Here's what the experts say. Lawrence Yoon from NAR, he revised the 2026 sales forecast from 14% growth down to 4%, citing rate volatility from the Iran war. But he still expects 3 to 4% price appreciation and says home prices are good, solid ground. Texas A&M Texas Real Estate Research Center, their base case of rates in the 6% range through mid-2026 remains intact. San Antonio's spring trajectory, 10% year-over-year sales growth in March, improving close to list aligns with their scenario for a constructive second half. Freddie Mac, purchase applications running 20% above last year when rates dropped. That demand didn't evaporate. It's waiting for the next favorable rate window. But what this means for you, if you're a buyer, 1,084 closings prove buyers are acting. Don't let rate anxiety keep you on the sideline until others close. At 6.5%, you're still borrowing cheaper than last year's 6.76%. Affordability gains are intact. Active listings at 7,379 give you the most choices of the year. Use the 99-day average days on market for overpriced homes as your leverage. March close to list at 92.8% is your negotiating data. Use comps, not emotion. For sellers, 3,014 price changes is a high for the year. 2 price changes means you've already lost momentum and money. 335 expireds this week, up from 103. Overpricing doesn't work, and it never did. You have real competition, up 37% since February. Your list price has to beat the market, not just reflect your hopes. Price it right from day one. The buyers are there. The 1,084 closings prove it. So here's the bottom line. 1,084 solds, 12 straight weeks above 800 pendings. 30-day solds at a 2026 record. The spring market is real and it's accelerating. The Iran war rate shock temporarily suppressed closings for 3 weeks. Those contracts are now clearing in volume. March's 10% year-over-year sales increase and a 92.8% close-to-list ratio confirm the fundamentals are strong. Rates reversed as peace talks stalled. The daily index is back near 6.5%. Kevin Warsh takes the Fed chair May 15th with no near-term rate impact. But the 3,004 pending pipeline and record solds prove buyers aren't waiting for certainty. They're moving. The formula in this market is simple. Accurate pricing wins, period. If you're thinking about buying or selling in Greater San Antonio, or if you're just trying to understand what's happening in this market, I'm here for you. Call or text me directly at 210-286-9106. No pressure, no pitch, just real market data and honest conversation. So if this video gave you value, hit that like button and subscribe. I put out this market update every single week, so you always know exactly where the San Antonio market stands. I'm Meister, and remember, who you work with matters. Bye for now.